They were on TV and radio, and we've played these clips here before. We'll play them again today. BBC, CNN. They're going to blow that building up, get back, get back. They blow up Building 7. We interview the deputy emergency manager, the #2 in New York. He dies weeks after he's on, Barry Jennings. I interview the firefighters in person who are getting death threats who heard the countdown to blow the towers up. Over the Red Cross was in charge of it. That's like above CIA, for those that don't know. And if you're a novice and don't know and you're laughing, go look it up. The globalists have used them for 500 years at least. Literally Red Cross, Rosicrucians, Knights Templar, Illuminati. That's their front group. But the Red Cross was there. I talked to 2 different cops with the countdown to blow it up. This is the type of just insane stuff that is going on and unfolding in this society. The NORAD stand down. I want to go over some of the smoking guns of 9/11 today, but I wanted to spend a few minutes talking to you about where we're going and what we're building, thanks to all of your support out there, spreading the word about the transmission and the rest of it. Because if I was reaching 1 million people a week 17 years ago, 20 years ago, I was reaching a few thousand people a week. And 18 years ago, I was reaching 1 million a week. And 17 years ago, I was reaching 3 million a week. You can see that we're now reaching 20 million a week. We have a responsibility to try to go to the next level and to really go for it all in the info war, to really try to defeat the globalist. And I would encourage all of you out there as well to realize that in your daily life, you've got to decide you can fight back. You've got to decide we can win. You've got to decide that, yeah, we know this bad stuff's happening. That's a positive thing, to be aware of what's unfolding. That gives us a shot at turning this around. You've got to realize that the alternative is total slavery and turning the world over to premeditated evil. The establishment is lockstep. Boehner and people like Obama, when it comes to Obamacare, or going after the guns, or open borders, or bombing, Syria, and arming al-Qaeda to fight al-Qaeda, they're in lockstep. And that's why they're in lockstep going after the libertarian movement and the Tea Party. I've never been a supporter of the Tea Party, except when Ron Paul kind of started it. Republicans tried to take it over. I became a supporter of it the last 3 years because the Republicans were unable to take it over. It was taking them over, and the whole establishment lined up against it. That's when you know you need to support something. Whole establishment wants a border, you got to support it. Whole establishment supports gun control, you've got to be against it. Whole establishment wants to bomb Syria a year ago, we've got to be against it. Now the establishment's lining up to attack al-Qaeda. They have come up with mind control scams so incredible that I want ISIS to be bombed. But I know that'll just be a cover story and it's a fraud, so I've got to agree with Lew Rockwell. I think it's wrong probably, even though I can get the perspective of Rand Paul saying we need to go after ISIS, but saying don't support the rebels because they are ISIS. He knew what Obama was going to do, showing he's a real statesman. Very, very exciting. Now, we're going to go to break. We're going to come back, and I'm going to go through an article written by Paul Joseph Watson back in June of 2005. The 10 smoking guns of 9/11. These are still the big smoking guns. Then we have 20 other points that tie into this I want to get into, and a bunch of video clips that have been compiled by the crew with Norman Mineta, the Secretary of Transportation, saying Cheney gave stand-down order, Building 7 montage showing the different angles of it falling at free fall and being blown up. The 28 pages we already pretty much played that, but the fact that Schaefer says he's talked to folks that have seen it. Of course, Congressman Jones has seen it and wants to get it released, and that it's Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia being involved in our government covering that up. The guys want to play me predicting that they used bin Laden to take the fall for attacking the World Trade Centers July 25th, 2001. And we will also get into Sybil Edmonds, whistleblower, saying the government worked with al-Qaeda and she was listening to it. Jennings and Giuliani talking about bombs in the building and the towers being blown up. And BBC predicts WTC collapse 30 minutes or 25 minutes before it fell, and then trying to deny it. That's just some of the big smoking guns that tell us the official story is as fake as Santa Claus and a $3 bill. I'm Alex Jones, coming to you from the Infowars.com studios.
If you own a business, you need customers, right? Well, your potential customers are listening to this radio program right now, and I can help you reach them. Hi, I'm Matt Brower, a national marketing executive at the radio network responsible for this program. I can help you customize a national radio campaign that fits your budget, large or small, while targeting your specific audience. Contact me to learn how radio advertising can make your business more profitable. mbrower@gcnlive.com. That's mbrower@gcnlive.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
It's time for a home security quiz. What effective home security device is smaller than a coffee cup, fakes out burglars into thinking someone is home at your house while you're away, plugs into any wall outlet, is recommended by many police departments, and sells for less than $30? Yes, it's Fake TV. This year, about 1 in every 50 U.S. homes will have a break-in, with burglars usually picking the easy target, a dark house that looks like no one is home. Fake TV is a small electronic security device that makes it look like someone is home watching TV by simulating the light from a real TV. Fake TV could be the difference between coming home to a secure house or one that's been ransacked. To get your Fake TV for only $29.95 with free shipping, go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388 or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Open your eyes. It's time to give your eyes a powerful nutritional boost. Sight is the primary input to the brain, arguably making eyesight the most important sense we have. And just like the other important organs in our bodies, our eyes function at peak levels when they are fed the proper amounts of essential nutrition. Open your eyes. Combining key ingredients like vitamin A, zinc, lutein, proprietary saffron bulb extracts, and more, OcuPower by InfoWars Life is the new formulation specifically designed to nutritionally assist the natural function of healthy eyes. Optimize the natural power of your eyes with the latest addition to the super high-quality InfoWars Life formulations, OcuPower. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to order OcuPower or call 1-888-253-3139. OcuPower. Open your eyes.
September is National Preparedness Month, so make it a September to remember by getting your emergency food supply from the Freeze Dry Guy. On sale this month, our 2014 Stew Butter and Potatoes unit. You'll get one number 10 can each of high-quality Mountain House chicken stew, vegetable stew with beef, pilot crackers, plus the highest quality dehydrated ABC stew. Butter and potatoes for a total of 160 1/2 cup servings. Retail value $161.41, but not this month. The Freeze Dry Guy offers the 2014 Stew Butter and Potatoes unit for only $123.93. Save over $37. Plenty of protein, veggies, carbs for energy, and tasty, hearty, storable food with a shelf life of over 25 years. Call 866-404-3663. Free shipping to the lower 48 states. Click freezedryguy.com or call 866-404-3663. That's freezedryguy.com. Hurry! The National Preparedness Month sale ends September 30th from the Freeze Dry Guy. The finest freeze-dried and dehydrated foods available anywhere for long-term storage.
The problem with something like 9/11 is there's so much proof the official story is a fraud. But what about the latest evidence that our government would work with Al-Qaeda, renaming him ISIS or ISIL or whatever Obama's name to confuse the public is this week, that they would turn them loose to kill Christians all over the Middle East, and that they would open our border up so they could attack us here. That is aiding and abetting right there. That is inside job right there. That is criminal right there. So open and shut, boom. I don't ever want to hear I'm a traitor for pointing out the official story of 9/11 wasn't true, or that they were going to use those attacks to take our freedoms. Clearly, they now say Homeland Security is for returning veterans, gun owners, conservatives, libertarians, patriots, constitutionalists. Clearly, I predicted that back at the time. And there's all these clips to play, but I think we should play first. AJ predicts 9/11 back in July. This says July 21st. I think it was July 25th, 2001, in a 2.5-hour access show I did, that if somebody's got the whole tape, I'll put a bounty out, $1,000 for it. I thought I had a copy around here because over the 2.5 hours, I mean, I broke down every reason how they transform our society into a police state, the RAND Corporation documents, the National Stabilization Force, how they would use terrorism to do all this. And we could do like a whole hour special off that 2.5-hour live access show I did that Jimmy Vaughn saw live. And then he saw it when it re-aired later. Everybody got real mad at me because it aired on 9/11 a few months later that night. When I was saying they'll attack the World Trade Center and the government did it, I'd said it 2 months before. And then I could never find the tape of it again. Somebody, again, found it and put it on YouTube, a short clip. But this isn't even the really meaty stuff. AJ predicts 9/11 from Access TV back in July of 2001. Here it is. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad that you could join us today for this Wednesday, July 25th, 2001 broadcast. Tyranny is enveloping the globe, and the United States is a shining jewel the globalists want to bring down, and they will use terrorism as the pretext to get it done. I'm going to put the call out that you call the White House and tell them, look, we've seen the news stories that you've wanted to blow things up, that you have blown things up, and that you're saying that 4 million of us are going to die and we need martial law and the Associated Press. At one of your little drills you had. And that we're aware of who the terrorists are if you pull this. This can stop this Hitlerian Reichstag event. I want to put the toll-free number up for Congress. And I won't want you to believe Alex Jones. I want you to go get these news stories off my website. I want you to call these major newspapers. I want you to find out these statements were true by the White House about preparing for martial law. And I want you to let them know that if there is any terrorism, we know who to blame. The point is, if any terrorism comes, it's from this government. And if there was an outside threat like a bin Laden, who was a known CIA asset in the 80s, running the Mujahideen war, and whose family builds all the military bases over in Saudi Arabia right now, and sits on the board of Iridium Satellite. He's the boogeyman they need in this Orwellian phony system. I want the White House numbers up there now. A big part of this solution, after you research all the government terrorism and check out what I'm saying is true, call the White House and tell them, we know the government's planning terrorism. We know Oklahoma City and World Trade Center was terrorism. We know the Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to blow up airliners, Baltimore Sun. If you do it, we're going to blame you because we know who's up to it. Or if you let some terrorist group do it, like the World Trade Center, we know who to blame. And you could save the planet. I'm calling it Operation Expose the Government Terror. From the archive, I had more hair then and was a little bit skinnier. I get sick of looking at myself all day, but it's part of the job here. So there you have it from way back in 2001. Here we are 13 years and 2 months later, and I'm yet again saying they're clearly going to let al-Qaeda attack us under the name ISIS, or they'll do it, the criminal elements that run our government, and use that to launch a bunch of new wars and have no-bid weapons contracts and sell the idea of spying on us and violating our rights. This is how they take over. And I know you know that as a regular listener. Many of you knew it before I was born. You knew how the world worked. How do we get this information out to everybody else so that we don't keep reliving this? I mean, this is ridiculous. I predicted last year that they would end up saying we had to go into Syria to stop al-Qaeda there, where they were openly arming, and now they're doing it. I mean, it's so predictable, but it's also so over the top. We'll talk to our reporters in New York coming up, and more Smoking Guns.
We're on the march. The